Hello, good morning, everybody. Today we're talking about my TED Talk. We're talking about non-violent education or non-violent communication. The adults in our society that believe it that we as children should be what they want us to be. My personal experience was different from most of my friends that I had. I grew up with my grandparents and they allowed me to do a lot of things that I wanted to do. For example, if I don't want to eat the same food of my family, my grandmother said, it's okay, it's fine, she won't eat what she wants. So I think we should balance the situation. Actually, I'm a teacher and I could see every problems about behavior with my students. Then I thought over my professional experience, why are there so much behavior problems education? When I was pregnant, I started to read some books and take some course about early childhood education, and I found a new subject for me. The subject you can call non-violent communication or non-violent education. This conception was created by Marshall Rosenberg, who is a man from USA. He is psychological in America. According to that, I started to change my mind about early childhood. Then I noticed other ways to talk with my students and now with my daughter. Because violence is not only physical violence, but it also can be psychological violence, or both of them. Some parents, when they disagree about behavior of their children, say rude words like, you are nothing, or you do only bad things. Anyway, but the worst practice is when the parents use physical violence. The fact is, when you use violence, the children feel scared and stop the wrong thing they were doing before. They stop it not because of respect for their parents, but because they feel fearful about the situation. Then the most problem caused by violence is depression, anxiety, insecurity, etc. Then non-violent communication talks about change parents' behavior. The theory invites society and parents to take part in this initiative, while society breaks the cycle of violence that is common among all past generations. It's a need to change themselves, their thoughts about each other. So I will give you just one example. If your child breaks something or some objects in your home, instead you punish them or say something bad, something difficult for them, you should say without scream, just say or ask for them. It's fine. What should I do to fix it? Oh, probably the child would say, will propose in the first, I'm sorry mom, I'm sorry dad, and say, we can clean up everything. It was just one simple example about it. About how can children can learn more and better without violence. So in the final, non-violent education proposed to control all fields. Non-violent education teaches peace. If finally, the most important, non-violent education help us to change for the good. Okay, it's just show us this new conception for parents and for all of us. Thank you so much.
Hello everybody, my name is Morgana and I want to start with a question. Who here have had a phone 20 years ago?
Me?
No,
Smartphone?
No.
Thank you. So 20 years ago, we didn't have those smartphones. I used to go to school with my friends, shout about life, knowing all the gossip, and in the break, we used to lay down beneath the trees and listen to the birds sing or just play around in the school. So, as the world changed, so is technology. And those trees were cut to open space to a computer center. Now, children don't have a place to stay in their break, and the only option they have is computer or stay on their cell phones all day long. And I ask you, how those children can worry about environment if they don't know how beautiful is the sing of a bird, the sight of a planet? So, just a second. So, but we have to remember that technology is not all evil. Technology made our life much easier. And it can help us to at least try to make the world a little better. So, we all know that nowadays already born with a smartphone in their hands. And they can do senseless and crazy things with it. But they can also do good things like the trash challenge, where people share their before and after photos of cleaning some areas, like the beach, like public places, and etc. It's also well known between the young people as the trash tag, and on Instagram there are more than 24,000 results. People who share their results. We also have a billionaire called Kjell Koki. He's building a ship to clean the ocean, and this ship is self-sustainable. But we also have this teenager called Sledge. He created a initiative. He went to drive in Greece and found more plastic than fish. And then he created a system to clean the ocean using ocean currents. He created a GoFundMe and you can help him with $5. But if you don't have money but has a smartphone, a tablet, a computer, another way to help is sharing information through social media. This is how I personally know everything that's going on in my city, where, when and how I can help. To clean the beach, to buy organic food from small producers, and even how can I help my neighborhood's garden. So, you might think you are alone, but the truth is that you are not. We have Instagram, we have a lot of communities that you can find everything that you like and with billions of people. We also have Instagram where you can share your stories, everything that's going on using hashtags, and even we have free apps that can help you to recycle your garbage. So, as the African saying says, if you think you're too small to make a difference, you never spend the night with a mosquito. Bye!
Good morning, everyone. My name is Deborah, and today I will talk a little bit about how can ESL students improve their language skills. So first, I will talk a little bit about my experience learning English. I've been learning English since I was 11 years old. I said I've been learning because we never stopped learning a language. And in that time, when I was 11, I wanted to learn Spanish. But my mother thought it would be better for me to learn English, as it was growing the need of English speakers in the business world. So then, I started this endless journey. I still remember my first teacher. Teacher Elaine, she was tall, she was talkative, she was friendly, she was a really nice person. And she was so excited about teaching English that she would inspire me to improve my English as well. After her, I had many other teachers. And all of them always tried to inspire me to improve my language skills. But even with so many nice teachers, friendly teachers, I never felt secure to speak English in front of other Brazilian speakers. This happened because my self-esteem was very low. Some can think that I can communicate in English very well, and today I can, but it wasn't always like this. Okay, sorry. I used to feel the pressure of these other Brazilian students towards me. It took me almost 8 years to really start speaking English. At college, this feeling of not being as good as the others would get worse. And I will explain you why. At college, many of my classmates, they have been living abroad for many years, and they have just recently come back to Brazil. Some of them had been abroad several times, and others were bilingual. So how could I speak English with them? It seems obvious or cliché, but if you want to change something in your life, it's not just only hard work, energy, or effort in it. You need to change your mindset. So the way you look at yourself and the way you think others look at you can change your perspective. And you need to tell yourself that you are not like everyone else. Each person has a way of teaching. Each person has a way of learning. So some individuals, they are introverts, and some individuals are not. Some individuals are fast learners, and some, they need a little more time, to learn everything and to understand things. So it doesn't matter your personal characteristics. What matters is how your goal is important for you and how you are going to deal with the situations. And do you know how I changed my mindset? Well, my mother, she always taught me many things, sometimes in a soft way and sometimes in a hard way. And this time I was forced to change my mindset. She told me, Deborah, you need to speak English fluently as soon as you finish college. At first, I had that feeling of frightening. I was really scared about it, but this was the push I needed. And then I started changing my mindset. So after you change your mindset, it's time to study, you push yourself. One tip that is very good, you can choose a person who speaks English fluently. If not fluently, choose a person who speaks English better than you, and then you will start practicing with this person. If you don't like talking, you can think about questions to ask this person, and then pay attention in the answers and write down everything, and always revise it. Another thing that is very important and useful, and it was very useful for me, talk to yourself. Visualize situations. Think how you would deal in these situations. What would you feel? And then you will start to think what vocabulary, what words you don't have yet. And this will help you a lot. So if you don't have a friend, you can talk to yourself. Okay? Use the mirror. It's a really nice tip. Another thing that is very nice, We as human beings, we like to focus on the bad things. We never celebrate our achievements. So start celebrating your achievements. You start a new language. And how long have you been studying? What have you already achieved? Feel happy about this. Think, oh, I'm doing well. I'm achieving something. So think more about what you already know than about what you don't know. Well, another thing is that sometimes when we are speaking English with native speakers or people who speaks very well, we think this person or they are judging us. And this is not true. Sometimes this person just wants us to improve our language skills. And then we need to accept this. Accept that this person is trying to help you and not judging you. And last but not least, and maybe the hardest thing to do, challenge yourself. Step outside your comfort zone. If you didn't do this yet, when are you going to do so? Think about it. Thank you very much for your attention.
Good morning. My name is Rafael. I'm so glad to be here. In order to introduce you to the subject of my lecture, which is the art of achieving dreams, I would like to tell you a little bit about my background. I was born in an impoverished family in a small slum in Salvador, Bahia, most known as the city of the Carnival, one of the most famous cities in Brazil state. Growing up was not easy, as for many times my parents and I had to eat flour with water in order to feed ourselves and not die. Despite of our destitute condition, I always believed that it's our choice to change our condition and become successful in life. During my childhood days, my parents and I used to go to church, which was not so far from home. It was like 10 minutes by walking. Throughout that not long distance, I was witnessing of a plethora of children using drugs and asking for money during the way. For some unfathomable reason, it's not unusual to present especially black people living in a very poor condition, asking for money in the street and using their children as a manner to survive. I was born and living in an underprivileged family. However, it definitely never made me feel as an underprivileged boy. I wanted to change. I wanted a better life. I couldn't believe that who was born poor must die poor, and who was born rich dies rich. I made a decision to change my life, and ever since I made that decision, and foremost I started acting, I've seen difference. I'm glad to say that I'm the first member in my family to get a bachelor's degree, and also that I'm the first one to have achieved the possibility to go abroad as well. That was all only dreams, but those dreams came true. In order to accomplish, I had to deny many things. I had to start working when I was 10 years old. I had to clean bathrooms for many times, and as a black guy in Brazil, I've faced racist people all over the place. I lost many opportunities. I failed and failed, but I started again. I always understood that if you want something in the future that you don't have today, you must know and decide what you want and learn about the ways you need to go through to achieve and foremost start acting. Dreams are only dreams when you don't put it into action. You will fail. I failed many times before I accomplished those dreams that came true in my life. But as once Mandela had said, a winner is a dreamer who never gives up. There are many dreamers who were born in a destitute condition, even as slaves, that somehow came successful in life. As an example, we can mention Nelson Mandela, who was born in a very poor family in an underprivileged village, but worked pretty hard to accomplish his dreams, and was the first member of his family to get a formal education. Also, became the first black president of South Africa, changed the South Africans' life forever. And last but not least, he became one of the most admired leaders in the world. Not only him, We can mention Oprah or even Rachel Amaya, which was also born in a very poor village in Brazil, studied pretty hard, dreamed, and now she's currently the president of Lacoste in Brazil, one of the most famous fashion company in the world today. Why not me? Why not you? What are the secrets of their success? Perhaps I don't know all the secrets. I'm sure though that one of the secrets of their success is to have purpose in life. It's to persevere, be stoic, be resilient, don't give up, choose your priorities, and trust in yourself. Unfortunately, 95% of our dreams don't come true because of our lack of trust in ourselves. We regularly avoid believing in what seems impossible, and instead, we rather be satisfied with what we have. Therefore, many of our dreams just disappear. I'm 26 years of age. I can barely define myself as a dreamer. There are a lot of dreams in my mind, and I thoroughly still have the anxiety that as far as I believe in myself, I will bring those dreams into reality. Thank you.
Oh, sweet, sweet loving, won't you put it on me? Keep me coming, 'cause you're all that I need. You give me love, I'll give you everything that you want, as long as you love me. Your sweet, sweet loving, loving, loving me. Keep me coming, coming. Your sweet, sweet loving, loving, loving me, as long as you love me. Your sweet, sweet loving, loving, loving me. Keep me coming, coming. Your sweet, sweet loving, loving, loving me, as long as you love me. Your sweet,
So teacher Francois is helping one of his best students, because I'm the best, his second best student, to go down.
Oh my god, not yet.
Okay. All right. So that's how, yeah, we go.
Great.
your sweet, sweet loving, won't you put it on me? Keep me coming, 'cause you're all that I need. You give me love, I'll give you everything that you want, as long as you love